Listen, really, I don't even know where to start sometimes. I don't even know where to start with these videos or these sessions or whatever I want to say. I don't even know where to start, but I'm just going to say, let me say that God is so good. And I don't want somebody to get this wrong or misunderstand me. I just know that God is so good. Like there are so many times in our lives that God chooses to show us who he is even in the smallest situations. The scripture tells us to that we are to hide the word or ask God to hide the word in our heart that we may not sin against it. But the parallel to a scripture like that is for us to know and understand the word. So when God is showing who he is and his character and his essence, the essence of who he is with the promises and all the things that he actually does for us in our everyday lives, like also the scripture tells us, that he takes care of the birds, um and they don't ask him for anything. They don't worry, they don't toil, they don't go back and forth about things. And it's just like I read it in the word and then I tell myself, this day I will trust him. Because some days are harder than others, and even though I trust him all the time, there's nothing like trust situationally. And what I mean by that is when the situation comes and it's time for you to actually trust God and you think of his word and you meditate on his word, which the scripture tells us to meditate on his word, those things that are good, we should meditate on them, meditate on his promises. And I had so much going on today. My wife and I, we had so much going on today. The last couple months, we are going through a heavy transition, one we feel very blessed to be going through, but it had some downs inside of our ups. And we are very blessed, not because we are getting things, have things, or things are being given, or we are able to obtain, but we are blessed regardless of those things. We see that there's little obstacles, and there's times where we kind of go, why is this part happening when we're on our way to the final blessing? And God says, just watch me work. And so watching him work is such a beautiful thing. I don't even know how how detailed I can be in this, but we are transitioning to a new home. We are transitioning to something different on the property that we have, and it is growing, guys. It is growing like we didn't even think. About 5 years ago, I gave an email to my family about what I felt like we should be doing at that time, and my sister spoke to me and she said, this email seems like it's for you. And initially when she told me that, I was like, does she not want to be a part of this? I didn't think she was saying it to be mean or anything, but I questioned. I was like, does she not want to be a part of this, or is she too busy for this? Or it was a lot on the email. And when she told me that, it settled in my spirit very quickly, like this is for me. So I went on with that. Some of the things that I wanted, everything from like growing food to gardens to land to space to animals to a different type of house. It wasn't about getting more and having more in that era, and it wasn't necessarily for me because my heart was for something else that didn't. These things wouldn't directly affect me, but I wanted them to help my family come together and grow overall. But God has blessed me to see that those things were for me, not just for me so I could obtain them and keep them for myself, but to still be able to bless people later on. But lately we've been going through this thing where they said we have to do something different to our land before we can put this on it. We got to put this on it and that and this and this. Without going into detail, it's been stressful. It's been stressing my wife out. It's been stressing me out. It's been stressing my youngest daughter out. But in the midst of it this morning, before my wife walked out the door, she was very upset and stressed. And I reminded her later of, this is the time for us to lean on God and have an expectation that he will come through for us. She agreed, and I know she agreed in mind and spirit and body. But the connections that we had made from people we never thought we'd see again, from 2.5, 3 years ago to now, we talked to certain people that were connected to other people that was connected to other people. And the first person we was connected to, it was a blessing that now it was like it came all the way down to some people we didn't even know would be a part of this journey. And God connected us in a way to these people that things are now working in our favor because of them. And I'm not a guy who thinks he's blessed because things are in our favor, or because I obtain things, because there's money, because there all of this stuff. I just try to be obedient and let God take care of everything, just as he does the birds, just as he feed the animals, just as he water the earth. That type of mindset, to just be like, let me let God take care of it, and I'm not gonna stress. Even if somebody brings stress to me, can't do it. I trust God. I just trust him. And every time I set my mind on things that are greater than my situation, y'all, he really shows out. He will show out and show up in your life in a way that you just did not expect it. So I just want you guys to pay attention to what he's doing in your life and watch how he works if you trust him. Y'all need to trust him. He's everything you need. Peace out. Love you guys.